Everyone. I have not been on in a long time, and it has to do with a lot of decisions and trying to figure out what I'm filming. However, I do think it might be a good idea to just share some ideas of how to keep germs at work and not bring them home. The hospital that I work at, I'm not really going to share much about it, but I'll share a little bit of what we're doing in the hospital to keep this virus contained. Some employees that you can scan into a door, but upon scanning, you also have to show your badge to get in and to get out. Patients are only allowed one visitor, and there are no exceptions. A patient that is on comfort care can have exceptions, but only if they think that they're imminent. I don't think that's the right word, but only if they think that they're going to pass away in the next 48 hours. So, how do you put a price tag on a life? So anyway, I'm just going to share some things that I am doing to keep the hospital germs at the hospital, especially right now. We're not really sure. We don't know much about this virus, and people aren't showing signs for 2 weeks, which is called the incubation period. So just kind of taking extra precautions on that. So this is what I'm doing. So I get ready for work and put my normal scrubs on. These are figs. I do also have a highlight story of what I'm doing on my Instagram, which is Emily Lyford 19 or Emily Life 19. So I get ready for work, put my normal scrubs on. I bring a change of clothes, which are right here. And for me, it's actually my PJs that I bring to work because I work night shift. So by the time I get home, that step of changing is already done. So I wear the same clothes that I change in at work before I come home. So first, what I do to go to work is I put a set of clothes in my bag, and then I also put a Walmart bag in my bag. So this Walmart bag is for these scrubs in the morning. So before I leave the hospital, I'll change my scrubs and just get the dirty scrubs, all the germs off of me, and into this bag. And then when I get home, I literally go right downstairs and put them in the washer and close the lid. That way anything is on them will be washed in the washer. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm not bringing my shoes home. So my shoes right now are actually at work. I have 2 pairs of work shoes there. I feel that if I'm carrying on the virus literally on anything, it's going to be on my shoes. They walk all around the hospital. They walk in patients' rooms. They walk to the cafeteria. They walk through the hallways. So the same thing, the virus could be on the floors in a hallway of our hospital. So if I have anything, I do believe it's going to be on my shoes, so I'm leaving them there right now. And I don't think I'll ever bring them home again. I think they will be there for their lifespan, and when I'm done with them, I will throw them away at the hospital. It might be overkill, but anything we can do to protect ourselves and our cat Nala, because I don't want Nala to get the virus. So I'm going to put my jammies in my bag. And then another thing that I do, which I did before the coronavirus came about, is I always disinfect my stethoscope, especially when I come home and put it in my bag, because I don't want to leave it at work because I'm scared that someone's going to take it, which I trust my coworkers, but it's my stethoscope and my mom bought it for me, and I really just don't want to lose it. So I disinfect that before I put it in my bag. Once a shift, I also disinfect, bleach my sneakers. I did this before the coronavirus, as I showed in my Instagram stories. This is just to clean them off, get the bacteria off of them, and it helps make them white. So I did do that before the coronavirus, just another safety precaution. But it's kind of interesting. It's just interesting, and it's so hard being a nurse right now, especially in the hospital during this virus, because of course our patients are not calm about it, so we really have to kind of keep our cool. And it's hard to do when you don't really know much about this virus. But as of right now, there are 2 confirmed cases in Penobscot County. If you look at the Maine.gov and the CDC map for Maine, it is actually, most of the cases are in Cumberland County, which I believe is by Portland. So you can see that it's community acquired. People are not staying at home when they need to stay at home. And it's really dangerous guys, it's really dangerous. So it's showing that all age ranges can get this virus. However, people who it's affecting the most are the elderly. So yeah, just protect those high-risk populations. If you have people at a nursing home who are your family, write them a letter, send them a postcard, do something to keep them entertained, that make them know that you didn't forget about them. It's just hard. It's so hard during this time, especially because we don't really know much about the virus. And like states like New York said they're probably going to start running out of equipment pretty soon. So yeah, so protect your healthcare workers and stay home. Protect your elderly and stay home. Yeah, check in on your neighbors, check in on your elderly people, make sure they have food, make sure that if they need something, you can get it for them. Yeah, it's really sad. I've seen so many really good memes, which are funny, but in a really dark way, because I'm a nurse, and nurses have to be dark sometimes in their humor, because if you don't, you're literally not going to get through a shift without crying. So, yeah, so that's some of the things that I've been doing, and I will show as much as possible in the end of this clip. So if this clip was helpful, please let me know. Today's date is the 22nd of March, so I'm interested to see when this blows over. When they say people can come out of quarantine, there was an article that I read today that said they're actually maybe looking at going 8 to 10 weeks of quarantine to get this virus down. So I also saw an article out of Italy a couple of nights ago, and it said that 13 doctors that have helped fight the virus have now died in that country. I don't know how reliable it is, but ever since I've seen that, I've kind of been unsettled about it. Kind of nervous, actually. And I was one at the beginning of this. It's like, oh, it's going to blow over. It's going to blow over. It's not a big deal, and now it's killing the frontline providers. And if we're not getting supplies that we need to take care of these patients, it's going to keep killing these people. So, and another thing that I saw that I really didn't like was that if nurses are in contact with these people and the patient tests positive, they actually are not testing the nurses until they show symptoms. I also don't know how true that is. I really hope it's not true, because we can carry it from patient to patient to patient to patient if that's the case, spreading the virus even more. So that's kind of scary. And I really hope it's not true, because it's just silly. Like, all of this first world medicine that we have, and for some reason we don't have enough supplies for our healthcare providers that are on the front line. So, but right now my unit is not letting us use hospital scrubs. So this is what I'm doing, because I'm not using hospital scrubs and I'm not keeping my scrubs in the hospital. Yeah. It's a scary time to be a nurse, guys, especially a new nurse. Yeah. So, pray for your nurses, pray for your friends and your family, and just really keep them on your mind, guys. Keep people who are high risk at low risk if possible. So, another thing, I keep on thinking of stuff, is just social distancing people in the hospital is just not possible. It literally is impossible. At nighttime, I have 6 patients, and I'm going between those 6 patients, and I have to give them meds, I have to help them clean up, I have to help bring them to the bathroom. There's no possible way that I can stay 6 feet away from people that I work with, as well as patients. So really, the most unsafe place to be right now is a nurse in the hospital, because you can't abide by the CDC recommendations. 10 people together at one time. There's sometimes more than that at the nurse's station. It's just how it is, especially on days with doctors and nurses and techs and patients that are up and walking around in PTOT. So just some considerations for you guys to think about while you're home and you're able to quarantine yourself from people and make this, and follow those CDC guidelines. As nurses, we're not able to do that. So really, we are the front line, even though sometimes even the patients that we serve, or that I serve, if I know they don't have it, it doesn't matter. I'm still on the front line. I can still get the flu. I can still get pneumonia. I can still get bacterial and viral spread things. That's just how it is. And right now with the coronavirus, it just makes it even more scary, especially because sometimes we don't have the supplies that we need on the floor or throughout the hospital to care for these patients.
Hello, Miss Faith.
Hi!
To work tonight?
Yep, heading to work.
How was your weekend?
It was good. I really didn't do much besides sleep. And you really can't do anything.
Right?
Yeah. So, how's...
We were...
There's a guy walking down the street with a bandana over his face. So you guys just saw me walk in or go into work, take my shoes off, put my shoes back on, but I played a little trick on you because, and they played a little trick on me, but it's the best trick ever. So I went into work, got ready for work, clocked in, and my name wasn't on the schedule. And this is my overtime shift, so I'm in Clairvia, which is the site that they use to make the schedule of the names of the people that are on shift, right? So I was in there, but I wasn't on the schedule. So I go into work, and they're like, well, hang out. We might need you. And I'm like, okay. They're like, well, maybe you can stay till 1. And I was like, okay. And then they just told me they didn't need me, so they sent me home. What a nice treat. Literally such a nice treat. So now it is 7 o'clock p.m. and I'm going home. Hello, I'm back again. So, like in the last clip that you saw, I'm home because they didn't need me for the hospital, and I'm kind of scared that this is the calm before the storm. Yeah, our census is low, and they didn't need me, so I'm home now. I'm in my jammies, literally, that I packed to change into in the morning, but yeah, so this is just another reminder, stay home if you don't have to go out, because healthcare workers, if we do get slammed in the state of Maine, there's not going to be any treats for anyone. Yeah, so I hope you guys like this vlog. I hope it was helpful. Yeah, thanks for listening. I hope you guys have a great night, because I'm about to do the dishes and then watch some Netflix, which I have no idea what I'm going to watch because I'm a really bad Netflix watcher. Or maybe I'll do my puzzle. I started a puzzle because I knew I would be home for a while. So, have a good night. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.